Transformations involve separating the baby from the bathwater, and in fact that's how transformations occur in the first place. A person comes to realize they can keep the baby. I've been going in one direction and it's time to declare some things. Long ago I rejected theism, Christianity in particular, because it didn't make sense. The first thing I gravitated toward was atheism. It seemed to answer a lot of questions, and indeed it still does, or at least shows me the folly of Christianity. In this book by Karen Armstrong called The History of God, it states that often atheism is merely a rejection of a particular conception of God. Although I have changed many things about how I see things, theism still doesn't make sense. Yesterday, April 24, 2011, at that Pentecostal Easter service, nearly everyone found it uplifting, but I had reservations. The pastor told us to tell the person sitting next to us that you were dirt. So I guess Calvinists aren't the only ones with such a bleak outlook. They just take it further. Both New Thought people and atheists condemn the very concept of sin. Like atheist Dan Barker said, I don't need to be forgiven. I was innocent all along. One argument people give against atheism is that it is not a positive thing, but merely a rejection of something. And despite all atheists do, they can't get around that. The term alone is a violation of the law of attraction, which is you get what you focus on, so they're always tied to a God like the Christian God. One thing I thought about, even years ago, was can you be an atheist who is not a freethinker, and can you be a person who believes in God who is a freethinker? Yes. Deism is one such example. Deists such as unified deism emphasize reason, but also believe in a creator of the universe. The Unified Deism radio show says atheists are wrong in acting as if reason is the only way, because though it is important, even very important, and some things like poetry and music don't involve reason necessarily, yet they are valid too. The New Thought stuff is totally helping me solve my problems in life, and I am finding it most believable. Like I have noted before, New Thought people don't usually use the term God. They say things like source, the universe, oneness. Is it just semantics? I have no problem saying the universe this or that, but I still shy away from saying God. Is it cognitive dissonance? Is it the fact that though I am willing to constantly revise and change my views in order to advance, I still can't admit I was wrong about there not being a God? Well, one thing I'm not wrong about is that the Christian God doesn't exist as is commonly portrayed, and is not a good conception, and I will be taking this to the Judgment Day. So do I just say the universe when I want to say God, and that way is cognitive dissonance? I've recently discovered pantheism, which simply means a creator or deity created the universe out of him or herself or itself, and thus we are all a part of this deity. Very similar to New Thought stuff, which I'm already believing. Like with the greater world of progress and science says they do, you keep a paradigm until a better one comes along. Life is more than matter in motion, as the materialists put it. I've interacted some with pantheism, a YouTube and Twitter user, and he says that the term God has too much of what he calls theistic baggage. Indeed it does. By the way, I got inspired to start using Extra Normal by user pantheism's Extra Normal videos. I believe there are powerful forces or a powerful force in the universe. I just am not going to say it is Jehovah or Allah or anything like that. But I do like deist terminology. Atheists didn't like the way I debated their cause when I did debates 7 to 12 years ago. I have too much passion and emotion, which are good things. Atheists tend to emphasize reason over all else, and this becomes part of their personality. Reason is a great thing, that's why I want to keep it. I also want to mix it with passion and emotion, and that is a balanced thing, the best way. We are here, so it is a miracle, and it's not like some say, where there is a clock, there is a clockmaker. Rather, it's even more fundamental than that. Life is a creative force, and in the fact we are here is not a scientific proposition or a logical argument, but self-evident. You can't have your cake and eat it too. The deists and pantheists and even New Thought people use reason, which why they all reject fundamentalist Christianity. The deists say there are universal principles put into motion by the deity who created the universe, and the laws were so perfect, there's no need for the creator of the universe, whatever that is, to intervene or change things. I believe this is why some say all religions share the same truths. To the extent these religions tap into the natural laws of the universe, which to me is more comforting than an amoral universe, they affirm the way of the truth. Certainly, most of them also mix in bad ideas, but distill out the laws of the universe, and you have something powerful. People like Stephen Covey, though personally a Mormon, distill these universal moral laws. He calls them things like the 7 habits of highly effective people and the principle-centered paradigm. He didn't devise these out of his head, but discovered the universal moral laws just like people of many other faith traditions do. The more I think about his teachings, the more I realize how undeniably right they are, yet I have no inclination to become a Mormon. So, I believe in a creative force. I believe in the miracle of life. I even now declare I believe in universal moral laws. I believe in a power bigger than ourselves. I believe in reason and passion and emotion, none alone, but synergized together. I believe in a rational conception of a deity or a universal source.